Giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. This is Brother Taza Pai here, and for today's lesson, I want to go into some of the latest revelations in the MOTB world, all right? Which I have a couple of videos that I'd like to share and go into. And before we get into the information, we're going to kick it off here with Revelation chapter 3, verse 10, which says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. All right. Now, the word of the Lord's patience is the totality of the gospel, the 100% truth. All right. Now, the Lord here is calling it the word of his patience because we are required to live this word. All right. And living this word is to practice righteousness. The problem is we're in a totally unrighteous world, corrupt, perverted world that we're in. And this world despises the righteousness of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So when you engage as a Hebrew Israelite, got to put this out there, all right? So as a Hebrew Israelite, predominantly you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, when you practice your heritage, your birthright, which is these laws, statutes, and commandments, when you practice righteousness, the whole world is going to come against you, all right? Because this world is given into the hands of the wicked, as Job 9 and 24 so eloquently states it. So this is a corrupt and wicked world. And so in order to keep the gospel, the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you must demonstrate endurance. All right. You're going to have to exhibit some patience. All right. Which is going to cause you to suffer. All right. And that's what it's talking about. And we can look at it real quick. All right. So for that word patience, here we see the Strong's number G5281, which states, all right, when we go into it, you see the word.
Strong's G 5281. Hupamane. Hupamane.
All right. And hupamane has a root word. I'm going to go to the root. It's G5278. All right. See what this says.
Strong's G 5278. Hupamano. Hupamano.
And it breaks down into two other words. But when we go to the outline of biblical usage, definition 1 states to remain. All right. And it's going to take strength, it's going to take patience, and you're going to suffer to remain, because this world is going to do everything that it can to remove you from out of this truth. And then 1A says to tarry behind. All right. Definition 2, to remain, i.e. abide. You see the to remain, i.e. abide, not recede or flee. All right. Now I like them words, not recede or flee, because we are on a spiritual battlefield. All right. And there is no retreat. If you want your victory, if you want your crown, then you can't retreat. We must push forward. All right. Push on. And then 2B says to endure, bear bravely and calmly ill treatments. All right. So going to the root word is a breakdown with a prefix, and I'm gonna go to the main word is meno or meno.
Strong's G 3306. Mano. Mano.
I believe this is the root. Yeah, this is the root right here. A root word And it just says, again, definition 1, to remain, abide, 1a, in reference to place. 1a, I, to sojourn, tarry, 1a, I, 1a, I, not to depart, to continue to be present. You see? And it's, ain't that what the Lord said? Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, because you have remained with me, because you continue to be present despite your trials, your tribulations, your traumas, all right? All of your the hell that you catch, you still continue to be present, all right? And then B says to be held, kept continually. Definition 1b in reference to time, 1bi to continue to be, not to perish, to last, endure. All right? B 2b, no, 1b ia of persons to survive, live. And then 1c in reference to state or condition, 1c I to remain as one, not to become another or different. All right. And then definition 2, to wait for, or wait one. All right. So all of this is going into um, suffering. You're going to suffer. All right. Hupomene. So here we go. And I'm going to read the outline of biblical usage here for the word Strong's G 5281. Hupomene. It says definition 1, steadfastness, constancy, endurance. 1a in the New Testament, the characteristic of a man who is not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith and piety by even the greatest trials and sufferings. All right. And at the end of the day, you go into certain etymons of the word suffering or of the word patience, and you will see suffering. All right. From the Greek patai. All right, but see, here we see the Greek hupomene, but it goes into suffering or being patient or exhibiting patience in the midst of your sufferings. All right. 1b, patiently and steadfastly. Second definition, a patient, steadfast, waiting for, which is what we're doing, waiting for the Lord to return and for the prophecies to be fulfilled. All right. Definition 3, a patient enduring, sustaining perseverance. So we must persevere and keep the word of the Lord's patience. Now, let's go back. All right, so Revelation 3 and 10 again. All right. Revelation chapter 3, verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. All right. Now that hour of temptation is what we're gonna get into in this video. I have a couple of clips I want to show that's going into the MOTB infrastructure and how they're preparing and getting this set up, unbeknownst to the people. Well, here in America and other parts of the world, it's all shrouded in secrecy, but people are beginning to catch on. All right. So I just wanted to put this info out here just so people can have the info and can see for themselves that we're not here at Great Millstone, we're not just whistling Dixie. All right. They're putting the structure in place so that when they implement this MOTB, which is an acronym for the prophecy that was recorded in Revelation the 13th chapter, which we'll get into later on in this lesson, but that's the acronym MOTB. All right. It is at the threshold. All right. It's at the door, getting ready to come on in. So the Lord said, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And that's the time in which this mark, all right, of the MOTB is presented to you. Okay? You're going to have to choose a side. At that particular moment, you're going to get down with this present day system and align yourself with this corruption that's in this world, or you're going to stand with the Lord. And if you haven't been preparing yourself, up until now to walk with the Lord, it's going to be hard. The Spirit of the Lord is going to have to be with you. That's why he said, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. All right. That's why you think it says in First Peter, the 4th chapter, that, it speaks about the righteous scarcely being saved. Because this is not nothing that, well, going back to Romans the 9th chapter, it's not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth. But this is all by the Spirit and the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So in reality, it's nothing that anyone could do, but we just have to keep our faith in the Lord that he'll preserve us, because at the end of the day, it's up to him. It's up to the Lord, who's the Most High. It's up to the Heavenly Father who's going to take it and who's not, or who's going to be destroyed and who lives. All right. But this is our hope. All right. Our hope is in these words. And as I just read, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. So that means the ones that's been keeping this word and walking in this word, there's going to be those who have a greater probability or a greater chance to make it into or to be delivered. All right, because the hour of temptation is being prepared even as I speak. And for those of you who choose to turn a deaf ear, you're going to be completely taken by storm. You ain't even going to have a leg to stand on. All right. But it says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right. And this is what's coming. I want to show you they're already, again, putting infrastructure in place and making plans to even, put greater infrastructure in place than what they have already. These things are being planned out. So I'm going to let you hear this. All right.
Emerging technologies like artificial intelligence present new opportunities to make our financial system more secure, inclusive, and efficient. Deepfakes created with generative AI models can mimic an individual's appearance or voice. This makes scammers much more convincing and makes it harder for financial institutions to verify the identities of their customer.
You see that right off the bat, how the Hegelian dialectic is playing into this? All right. They're talking about the scammers using artificial intelligence to look like someone else, sound like someone else for the purpose of scamming, stealing money. All right. Somebody can hit your phone, a hacker call your phone, sounding like your parents or your children, you know. Hey, daddy, I need some money. Can you um, cash out me so and so, such and such? But this is all things that that they've allowed to happen. When I say they, I mean the government under the ruling elite. They're the ones responsible for all of the hacking and the scamming and all of this. All right. But he mentioned that this is all tied to financial, all right, the financial system. And I'll go back.
System more secure, inclusive, and
Okay.
emerging technologies like artificial intelligence present new opportunities to make our financial system more secure, inclusive, and efficient. Deep fakes create.
So it's to make the financial system more secure, all right?
With generative AI models can mimic an individual's appearance or voice. This makes scammers much more convincing and makes it harder for financial institutions to verify the identities of their customers. Countries like India, Estonia, Korea, there's a long list, have taken national steps to provide citizens who wish with a secure form of digital identification that can be presented online. A secure digital ID, biometrically synced to your smartphone, allows individuals to remotely verify that they are who they say they are, saving costs, reducing likelihood of fraud, and to allow individuals to defend themselves against deepfake identity fraud. This was in place during COVID when we had to onboard massive numbers of unbanked customers. But the customers had a secure digital ID. Would that have been a big improvement in our response to COVID?
One of the things that I was very amazed with during the COVID period of how advanced technology had to become to be able to offer financial services to individuals. So as long as the tool is used properly, it could have been a help.
The mobile ID rollout in the United States has been fragmented, some states moving much faster than others to adopt the technology. Have you identified any barriers that are keeping states from adopting this technology?
That would be a state decision that the NCUA wouldn't be involved with.
Any of our other witnesses have any comments on this area, the utility of a national standards for a secure digital ID provided by states? No one's jumping for the microphone? Okay. Several states, including Arizona, Colorado, Maryland, and Georgia, currently issue mobile IDs attached to their smartphone. Has the CFPB received any requests from financial institutions regarding the use of the mobile ID for identity verification?
I'm not aware of any particular requests.
Believe that a secure digital ID might protect consumers and save them time when addressing areas such as consumer online transactions.
Scammers and other types of identity theft continue to be issues throughout. So to the extent that that would be helpful, but I don't have any particular
specific things. Okay.
So you heard that. So they're working on the infrastructure using financial fraud or these scammers as the scapegoat, if you will, for issuing this invasive and controlling type of legislation. All right, which brings me to Psalms 94:20. It says, "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law?" All right, so that's what the hour of temptation is all about. Is you basically what was written in Romans was that I think it's in Romans, but I know we go here. But anyway, we read, what did we just read? All right, because thou in Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world. And that's world translated from the Greek word oikoumene, which means all of the populace of the earth, the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right. Now, with that hour of temptation, as I've already explained, that's when they present that MOTB. It's the micro CHIP that they want to implant either in your right hand, your forehead, or wherever. They want to implant it in your body somewhere. Okay. And what this would do in essence is join you to this beast system that they're putting the finishing touches on. All right. The beast system it's in place, and they've been constantly improving and building upon it, but it's here. They just got to put their final tweaks in, and it's really ready to go. All right. But they want to have full control when they roll this out. All right. So that it can go without a hitch. So it says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? Because that's in essence what you'll be doing is you'll be fellowshipping with this world. It'll be official. It'll be official and um, complete, for lack of a better word, that you have made yourself one with this beast system. All right, that's what that mark is about. The MOTB is about you making your declaration that I'm a part of this. All right, and I don't want nothing to do with the Heavenly Father or His only begotten Son. That's the statement that you're making when you fall into that temptation of the MOTB, which is the hour of temptation. All right, you're basically having fellowship with the workers of the throne of iniquity. I'm gonna check right here, look for something right quick, because I know 1 Corinthians 6 speaks about. Okay, so just wanted to check something. But anyway, when we go to 1 Corinthians, in the 6th chapter, all right, so this is 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 15. It says, know ye not that your bodies are the members of Mashiach? This is for the believers. All right. 2/3 of you, there's a portion of the 2/3, they believe in the God. They have that zeal, but it's not according to knowledge, pursuant to Romans chapter 10, uh, at the second verse. All right. And then you got a portion of the 2/3 that's just straight godless heathens. All right. They don't acknowledge the Most High. They don't acknowledge a Savior. They don't, some of them may acknowledge these pagan deities, and then some of them don't acknowledge a God at all. You got some Israelites that are atheists. All right. But this is talking to the believers. That's why it says, know ye not that your bodies are the members of Mashiach? Shall I then take the members of Mashiach and make them the members of an harlot? Now, Paul was talking about, basically the Roman system, because what he was going into was the men of the Lord being able to judge the matters. That's why he said, back in verse 9, know ye not. Here it is, 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous, well, no, I better go up something then. All right, so, yeah, I'm going to start at verse 3. Well, 3 is the point. So 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 3 says, know ye not that we shall judge angels, how much more things that pertain to this life? All right, because it was an incident. Well, I should have started at verse 1. But when you look at verse 1, it says, "Dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to the law before the unjust and not before the saints." All right. So the unjust Paul was talking about is the Roman system. All right. Going before uh, whoever was set up at the time to rule over Israel within the uh, Roman hierarchy or the Roman government. Paul was saying, like, you got this truth, you should be able to judge because we're gonna be judging angels. So why is it that you can't judge the matters pertaining to this life? All right. So what Paul was saying, what I was reading in 15, what Paul was saying, uh, 1 Corinthians 6 and 15, know ye not that your bodies are the members of Mashiach? All right. So then I take the members of Mashiach and make them the members of an harlot. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai forbid. So, right, should we be going before these these heathens, these Romans, these Edomites? Should we be going before them seeking counsel? All right. This is what Paul was saying. But the meaning here, and what I want to basically bring out for this point, is that we shouldn't be joined to this system in no shape, form, or fashion. Whether it be to ask for counsel, but especially going to allow them to put their mark upon us, in us, because that's the ultimate joining of this, making the body of or a member of Mashiach a part, or join a member of Yahweh Shah Mashiach to this harlot, all right, of Babylon. All right, this virgin daughter of Babylon, this mistress of witchcrafts and whoredoms. That's exactly what that MOTB will do. All right, so then at that point, when you accept that, you give in to that hour of temptation and accept that mark, then you're cut off from Yahweh Shai forever. You can't, there is no coming back. All right, you have officially joined yourself with a harlot. That harlot being this present day system and this whore of Babylon. All right, verse 16 says, "What? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh." Right. Verse 17, "But he that is joined unto the Lord is one spirit." All right. And that's the point. Yep, that's the point. So to be joined to the Lord and to be one is to be one with him. That's what it's saying. It's one spirit. But he that is joined unto the Lord is one spirit. That's what it means when the Lord said that, him and the church are one. It don't mean they're literally one, but they're one spirit, meaning one in belief, one in one in faith, one in agreement. All right, so that's what that is. And if you keep that spirit, all right, with patience, then the Lord is going to keep you from succumbing to the hour of temptation. All right, so again, Psalm 94 and 20. "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?" Right, and that's up to the Lord. As Peter stated, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. That's 2 Peter 1 and 10. Give all diligence to make your calling and election sure. All right, so that the Lord will stand up for you and vouch for you in that time, your time of distress, that time, that hour of temptation. All right. Now it says, which frameth mischief by a law. And that's what they was doing. They were framing mischief by a law. Now I want to go here as well.
Store and what they have planned for 20. Truth Unveiled here, and today I have a lot to go over with you. Let's just get right to it. I'm keeping you updated with the world around you, and today we're going to be talking about what they have in store and what they have planned for 2024 and beyond. And we're here at this website here from Sociable that says UN Gates Foundation 50 in 5 campaign aims to roll out digital public infrastructure in 50 countries by 2028. And later on, I'm going to take you to that actual program and website. Now, this was all...
So that 50 and 5 is...
Emerging technologies like our...
all announced in November by...
The 50 and 5, the 50 is 50 countries that they want to get all on board and synchronize with this whole agenda, this digital agenda within the next 5 years. So they're counting this year, so that leaves four more years. Because as you see, it says by 2028. All right, 2023 is done. We got what, a week and a half left, and we'll be in 2024. All right. Now I want you to hear what he has to say, because just because they put these dates, that don't mean shit. But I'm gonna let you hear him.
The way they did a virtual launch and everything. I'm going to tell you the bigger agenda so that you can be awake, alert, and aware of what's going on around you, so that you are aware of these things ahead of time. Now, just to give a little bit of background, like I said, we will go to the actual DPI website later on in the video, but for now it says the United Nations, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and partners of who? The Rockefeller Foundation. Wow, where have I heard that before? They're launching their 50 in 5 campaign to accelerate digital ID, digital payments, and data sharing rollouts in 50 countries under the umbrella of Digital Public Infrastructure, DPI, by 2028. Now, they're going to tell you that their goal is to roll all...
So you hear that, the DPI, that's Digital Public Infrastructure. So this is the infrastructure that they want you, the public, corralled in. All right, Digital Public Infrastructure. That infrastructure is none other than the Internet of Bodies, also known as the Internet of Things. All right, we've been talking about this. We've been keeping you up to date and informed here at Great Millstone on all of this, you know, going back at least, let's see, it's 2025, 2024, at least, well, going on a decade, all right? For almost a decade, we've been, you know, and maybe even longer. Maybe even longer. These terms have been around with us for a minute, as far as the Internet of Bodies and the Internet of Things, Agenda 2030, and all of these things. They're all tied together with this new initiative that they've launched. All right, which it's all the same shit. They just go under different guises or different names. All right, but this is um, a branch, for lack of a better term, of Agenda 2030. This is a part of it. All right.
This out by 2028. However, this is more than likely going to be much sooner. And folks, again, when they tell you this stuff, they're just trying to do what? They're trying to pacify the public as much as possible to make them think, oh, we have time for this. Oh, we don't have to think about this right now. Oh, we don't have to worry about this right now. But the reality is, folks, they already have the technology ready to go. And it says Digital Public Infrastructure, DPI, which refers to a secure and interoperable network of components that include digital payments, ID, and data exchange systems is essential for participation in markets and society in a digital era. Now, some of you might be looking at this and you might be thinking to yourselves, oh, but this is a great thing. It means enhanced security. It means that with digital IDs, it's easier for people to be identified and verified. And oh, this is a great thing because it keeps society together and united as one. Oh, but is it really? Because what is the bigger agenda here? We are going to find out. So the virtual launch event already took place as of November 8th, so almost a couple of weeks ago. But the bill itself, it says, quote, a country-led advocacy campaign. By 2028, the 50 and 5 campaign will have helped 50 countries design, launch, and scale components of their digital public infrastructure, according to the official announcement. And again, it's going to be powered by 3 foundational components: digital ID, digital payments like who? The central banks, so the central bank digital currencies, and massive data sharing. Now, just reading that alone, what is wrong with this? More spy.
So you heard that. All right, digital ID, digital payments through CBDCs, and then the massive data sharing. All right, and these are all the things that we've talked about at Great Millstone. The massive data sharing is your bio info. All right, your biological information, certain things that you do online that they'll track and trace, and share that, as well as certain bodily functions to monitor your your carbon output, all right, your carbon footprint. All right, so all of this data will be collected and shared among the different corporations, all right, which will affect your, these things will be tallied and kept score of, all right, for the sake of your ESG, environmental social governance, I believe it is. And so that's how they're going to keep track of how much money you get from the CBDC. All right, or how much you'll be allowed to have through all of the data that they're collecting and sharing. All right, it'll be shared with the banks. It'll be shared with your job. It'll be shared with all these corporations like Amazon and all this. You want to go to purchase something, and then they'll have all your info. All right, this is the world, the dystopian world that we're looking dead down the barrel of.
Spying indeed. They're going to spy on people even more with this.
Yeah, with the spying.
Central bank digital currency official announcement. And campaign will have helped 50 countries design, launch, and scale components of their digital public infrastructure, according to the official announcement. And again, it's going to be powered by 3 foundational components: digital ID, digital payments like who? The central banks, so the central bank digital currencies, and massive data sharing. Now, just reading that alone, what is wrong with this? More spying indeed. They're going to spy on people even more with this, and it gets even worse than that, because it's what? Digital policing, online policing, more policing for the public. That's what this is. And again, folks, they could roll this technology out as early as so-called 2024. They already have it in certain places such as China, as you're about to see later on in the video to come. The problem with this is that if this program is successful, DPI will give governments and corporations the power to implement systems of social credit that can what? Determine where and how you can travel, what you are allowed to consume, and how you will be able to transact with your programmable money. So again, if you're saying something that they don't agree with, they can just shut your card down, they can just shut your digital ID down, they can just shut everything down so that you're not able to buy and sell anymore, so that you're not able to go to the store, so that you're not able to get food, so that you're not able to go anywhere or travel or even step inside your vehicle or car. That is the goal of this. Again, it's more policing, and they tell you, what does it do? Demonstrates the potential and momentum for DPI through showing various approaches to it, their progress and outcomes in countries across different income levels and digital maturity statuses, and shortening the DPI learning and adoption journey for countries through facilitating learnings and best practice exchanges, use of open standards and specifications, adoption and sharing of technologies as digital public goods, an evolution of local engineering capacity and vendor ecosystems. And of course, they're going to say, oh, but this is good for the environment, and oh, it cuts out a cashless society, which in fact it does. But what is the bigger agenda here? Because there's so much to go over, I don't have time to go over every single document and every single article, but I wanted to go over this right here from the People's Voice that says, Nikki Haley says internet users must be verified by Bill Gates' digital ID for, quote, national security. And folks, this is exactly what we talked about how long ago on this network, about what? In the name of national security, in the name of national security, in the name for your protection, this is what we have to do. Now I'm going to show you a recent clip of what Nikki Haley said about this and what the bigger meaning of this really is.
When I get in office, the first thing we have to do, social media accounts, social media companies, they have to show America their algorithms. Let us see why they're pushing what they're pushing. The second thing is every person on social media should be verified by their name. That's, first of all, it's a national security threat. When you do that, all of a sudden people have to stand by what they say, and it gets rid of the Russian bots, the Iranian bots, and the Chinese bots. And then you're going to get some civility when people know their name is next to what they say, accountability, and they know their pastor and their family member is going to see it. It's going to help our kids, and it's going to help our country.
Okay, so what's the problem with...
So you see how she just threw Iran, China, and Russia out there, talking about their bots, as if the U.S. or it's not factions within the U.S. or hackers that's probably behind the majority of the bots that's out here today. All right, not to say that Russia, China, Iran, them don't have bots, but if you don't think a lot of this shit is coming out of Babylon, then you crazy. But see, these are the games that they play. All right. So she just threw those three out there: Iran, China, and Russia. So this will play in your mind when the cyber attack, the alleged cyber attack happens. All right, or allegedly happens. When the cyber attack allegedly happens, all right, people are automatically gonna be thinking, oh shit, it was either China or Russia or Iran. But anyway, the point there being is, they want this public infrastructure in place. All right. Well, as even as he said, majority of it's already in place. All right. At least here in America, it may be other countries where they need to, progress more to get this done. But here in America, they pretty much can roll with it. All right. Because this is how far along that they are. But getting back to the scriptures, there's a lot to unpack right there. But here, Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1, it says, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. All right, and all of this stuff, and you saw them in Congress or whatever, and they're creating the infrastructure, the lawful framework for all of this, so that they can be justified in their tyranny. They got a legal framework set in place. That's all wickedness. This is why the scripture says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. That's an unrighteous decree to have laws that pretty much take away your privacy, where you don't have any privacy. And here's the thing. They're the goddamn criminals. They're the fucking thieves. They're the rapists, the pedos. These people who want to police you are the goddamn criminals. All right? And it was a term that they used. Oh, national security. That's the term. They can't even use that shit no more. All right? America is just so messed up right now. And the worst part about it is the people here in America is just as messed up and corrupt as the government. So they don't, it don't even click to them when they use terms such as national security. That's bogus. When you got a border wide open, which borders, all right, because they coming in from Canada, maybe not as frequent or as heavily as they're coming through Mexico, but the borders are wide open. So that term national security, you got to get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. How you gonna have a secure nation with borders wide open? But the people will fall for it because they just want to get back to the football, basketball, all of their entertainment. They want to get back to their bread and circus. So whatever the government have to say, they're gonna go along with it. Just let me get back to my distraction because that's all entertainment is distraction. All right, but while you busy occupying yourself in distractions, they're decreeing unrighteous decrees. All right, and again, Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And you heard them talking about, you know, well, you heard Nikki Haley speak about monitoring your online activities. All right, so that's going to lead to a famine of the word. All right, straight out of Amos 8 and 11. All of this is coming down the pipe. All right, and you violate in any shape, form, or fashion your privilege to have access to the internet will be revoked. All right, maybe indefinitely. Maybe they'll, give you a timeout, whatever. 1 week suspension, 1 month suspension, just like they do with the YouTube, you know, suspend your page for a month. Well, that's going to be the entire internet. They want that type of power to be able to censor you and shut you up, keep you from speaking truth. All right. That's when you're going to see that famine. All right. And that's, as I mentioned, Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. It's going to come a famine of the hearing of the word, because just as the old saying in the world goes, you don't miss your water till the well runs dry. Well, you not see right now these waters are so abundant. All right, Great Millstone is flooding this net that y'all just taking it for granted. But when all hell breaks loose and they coming at you with all of these draconian measures, you're gonna be looking and trying to find what the prophets had to say, and it's not gonna be available to you. All right, the Lord is bringing a famine through this entire land of the hearing of His word. That's when you know for a fact that the doors of grace and mercy have been officially shut. When you can't hear the word no more, that's it. All right. So faith coming by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But if that word is silenced, then that means faith is silenced. And if faith is silenced, then that means no salvation. All right, because Ephesians 2:8 tells us that we are saved by grace through faith. All right. So no word, no faith. That faith is the grace that the Lord extended for us to be saved. And so no faith, no grace, no salvation. But we coming into the seriousness of these last days. All right, it's always been serious, but it's fixing to get life and death serious. All right, because you niggas been playing up to now. You've been able to play games, joke and laugh and talk shit. The Lord is getting ready to do away with all of that. The prophets will have the last laugh. All right. With that being said, everything that we've been here, I'm gonna get straight to the point on this. Everything that they've been talking about is right here, Revelation 13 and 6 and 16. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Why? By reason of this digital infrastructure, this this public infrastructure, digital public infrastructure that they setting in place. All right. You hear them talking about cell phones and internet and all of this, but what they didn't tell you is that all of this is going to be made um, ultimately. This will be made accessible strictly by this mark that I'm reading about here. That mark is a micro CHIP, which goes either in your right hand or your forehead, or wherever you accept this in your body, you're condemned at that point. So it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. You see? He's causing all because that's the only way you're going to be able to participate in society. He's creating a cyber society. All right? A digital cyber society that you will need a microchip to access or to be a part of that system. You will have to have it. There's no getting around it. All right? So that's where the temptation comes in. All right? That's where that hour of temptation comes in. When he rolls all of this out, right? Now you got to make a choice. How am I gonna feed my family? Well, you get this mark, you can eat. It ain't gonna be much, and it ain't gonna be delicious, but we could give you Z bugs. You can eat Z bugs so you get the CHIP. Or, I'm gonna pay this rent. Don't worry about it. We got 15-minute cities, but Vanguard, State Street, and all of that done bought up all the rest of the real estate. Bill Gates done bought up all of the farmland. So we got this 15-minute penitentiaries here for you and your family. Y'all come stay in here. We got you. But you gotta get this MARK. All right. So this is how he's gonna cause all. All right. And he's doing his best to destroy, wilderness and wildlife. So for the people that think, well, I'm gonna just go rough it. Yeah, he's doing his best to destroy wildlife and the wild. All right. With this unseasonal weather. But yeah, this is where all of this is going. The videos that I showed you, the scriptures that I've been reading, all right, going all the way back, beginning with Revelation 3 and 10, that hour of temptation, that's where all of this is heading to. That's the culmination. And it's coming to a head, as it's coming to a head quicker than I can. It'll be here before you know it. Look how fast this year, 2023, passed by. So if you think you got time, you don't have the time that you think you got. I didn't watch this year fly by. This year is gone. Now years done moved fast in the past, but as of yet, to this date, 2023 has been this year flew by, literally flew by. And, 2024 is going to be a roller coaster. But anyway, verse 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Now, that word mark comes from the Greek word charagma, which means something inserted, or in this case, implanted, which is a microchip. And we are in those times. All right. People are already taking it. Some people already have it. And that the technology, the platform for that technology is here. It exists. The technology to support that, it exists. So yeah, some stores are already going that route. What is that? Whole Foods. They doing, you got to scan to get in and get out. So yeah, it's here. They just have to make it mandated to where that's the only way of doing business. All right, and that's going to come with the uh the cyber thing. What they showed you in Leave the World Behind. That's what's going to usher this new system in. All right, what they showed you in Leave the World Behind. So it says again, Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right. And so all of these things point toward the microchip. And you know, for those of you who believe in the Lord, stay away from it. All right. It's better to die than to fall prey to this system that they're implementing. All right. So, hey, this it's nearer than what we believe. So, yeah, it's time to get the houses in order. But with that, I'm gonna end it right there. I pray that you brothers edified in this message, and until the next one, shalom.